5 trucks sitting on dealer lots with massive discounts, thousands off MSRP, aggressive financing, desperate sales tactics. But mechanics across America are warning buyers to avoid these specific models despite the tempting prices. By the end, you'll see which truck has a transmission problem so severe that Ford extended the warranty twice and dealers still can't move inventory. But first, you need to understand why dealers are dumping these trucks. Because it's not generosity, it's damage control. Here's what's happening. When dealers offer aggressive discounts on specific truck models, it signals problems. Either reliability issues have emerged, resale values are collapsing, or warranty claims are overwhelming. Smart buyers see discounts and think deal. Smart mechanics see discounts and think problem. We analyzed current dealer inventory levels, tracked which trucks have the highest dealer incentives in early 2026, interviewed mechanics who work on these specific models daily, and identified the failure patterns that explain why dealers are desperate to move these trucks off their lots. The discounts are real. Some trucks are selling for $8,000 to $12,000 under MSRP, but the long-term costs make those discounts irrelevant. Let's start with the truck that mechanics say has the worst reliability problem in the segment right now, Ram 1500. Ram dealers are dumping 2024 and early 2025 Ram 1500s equipped with the e-Torque mild hybrid system. You'll see dealer ads screaming $10,000 off MSRP or 0% financing for 84 months. These trucks are sitting on lots for 90 plus days while other trucks sell within 30 days. There's a reason. The e-Torque system, a 48-volt mild hybrid setup that's supposed to improve fuel economy and provide smoother start-stop operation, is experiencing widespread failures between 30,000 and 60,000 miles. The battery pack fails, the motor generator unit fails, and when these components fail, they take other electrical systems with them. Here's what makes this particularly problematic. The e-Torque system is integrated deeply into the truck's electrical architecture. When it fails, you can't just remove it and run a standard engine. The truck requires the system to function properly. Replacement costs are staggering, $8,000 to $12,000 for the battery pack and motor generator unit combined. But the failures aren't the only issue. The e-Torque system adds complexity that creates diagnostic nightmares. When electrical problems occur, determining whether it's the e-Torque system, the standard electrical system, or interactions between them requires specialized diagnostic equipment and significant labor time. Independent shops struggle with these trucks, forcing owners to Ram dealers charging premium labor rates. The pattern mechanics see, Ram 1500 e-Torque comes in around 45,000 miles with warning lights and electrical issues. Diagnosis takes hours. The problem is e-Torque battery pack degradation. Replacement quote, $10,000. The truck is worth maybe $38,000. The owner is facing a repair costing over 25% of the vehicle's value. Resale values reflect the problem. 3-year-old Ram 1500 e-Torque trucks with 60,000 miles are selling for $8,000 to $10,000 less than equivalent non-e-Torque models. The market understands the risk and prices accordingly. That's why dealers are dumping them. They know the used market won't absorb these trucks at reasonable prices once the warranty expires. One mechanic in Texas specializes in Ram trucks. He's seen 11 e-Torque battery pack failures in the past 8 months alone, all between 38,000 and 62,000 miles, all requiring complete battery pack replacement, all costing $9,000 to $11,000. He tells potential buyers, if you want a Ram 1500, get the non-e-Torque 5.7 Hemi. It's proven and reliable. The e-Torque system is a solution to a problem nobody had, and it's failing catastrophically. Ford F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid. Ford dealers have inventory stacks of 2023 to 2024 F-150 PowerBoost hybrids with incentives reaching $12,000 off MSRP in some markets. The PowerBoost system, combining a 3.5-liter EcoBoost with an electric motor and battery pack, promised impressive capability and fuel economy. It's delivering impressive repair bills instead. The hybrid battery pack is experiencing premature degradation. Owners report reduced electric-only range and degraded performance within 40,000 to 70,000 miles. The battery pack replacement costs $15,000 to $20,000. Ford's battery warranty is 8 years or 100,000 miles, but degradation that doesn't meet Ford's threshold for warranty replacement still leaves owners with reduced capability. The high-voltage system creates additional failure points. The power electronics, the battery thermal management system, and the integration between the gasoline and electric systems all add complexity. When problems occur, diagnosis is expensive and time-consuming. Many independent mechanics won't work on hybrid systems, forcing owners to Ford dealers. But here's what makes the PowerBoost particularly problematic for long-term ownership: the regenerative braking system. The truck uses regenerative braking to capture energy, but this system requires specific brake components that wear differently than traditional brakes. Brake service on PowerBoost trucks costs significantly more than standard F-100s because of the hybrid integration. The payload and towing capacity, while impressive on paper, decline as the battery degrades. A PowerBoost rated for 12,700 pounds towing when new might only handle 11,000 pounds comfortably after 60,000 miles of battery degradation. For buyers who need the truck's capability, this degradation is unacceptable. Resale values are concerning. 2-year-old PowerBoost trucks are selling for $15,000 to $18,000 less than equivalent 5.0 V8 F-150s, despite costing more new. The market is heavily discounting the hybrid system because of uncertainty about long-term battery costs and complexity. One mechanic in Michigan works exclusively on Ford trucks. His assessment? The PowerBoost is impressive technology that's not ready for the real world. We're seeing battery degradation, power electronics failures, and brake system issues that standard F-100s don't experience. The 5.0 V8 or even the 3.5 EcoBoost non-hybrid are far better long-term choices. The PowerBoost's complexity creates too many expensive failure points. Chevrolet Silverado 2.7-liter turbo. Chevy dealers are offering massive incentives on Silverado 1500s equipped with the 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Some dealers are discounting these trucks $8,000 to $10,000 below MSRP and still struggling to move inventory. Buyers want the 5.3 V8 or 6.2 V8, and there's good reason. The 2.7-liter turbo engine is experiencing high-pressure fuel pump failures between 40,000 and 80,000 miles. When the HPFP fails, the truck loses power, runs rough, and can leave owners stranded. Replacement costs $2,500 to $3,500. This is a known issue with multiple TSBs, but GM hasn't implemented a permanent fix. The turbocharger longevity is questionable. These small turbos spinning at extreme speeds are showing wear and failure patterns at 70,000 to 100,000 miles. Turbo replacement costs $3,500 to $5,000. A naturally aspirated V8 doesn't have this failure point, but here's what frustrates owners most. The fuel economy doesn't deliver on promises. GM advertises the 2.7-liter turbo as achieving similar fuel economy to the competition while providing good power. In real-world use, especially when towing or hauling, the fuel economy drops dramatically. Owners report 12 to 14 miles per gallon when towing, barely better than the 5.3 V8 that's proven more reliable. The engine's small displacement means it works hard under load. When towing or hauling heavy loads, the turbo is constantly at high boost, generating heat and stress. This accelerates wear on all components: the turbo, pistons, rings, bearings. The 5.3 V8 barely breaks a sweat under the same loads. Resale values are terrible. Used Silverados with the 2.7-liter turbo sell for significantly less than 5.3 V8 models. Buyers shopping used trucks understand that the small turbo engine is a risk compared to the proven V8. This resale gap exists even though the 2.7-liter trucks cost nearly the same new. One mechanic in Colorado sees this pattern repeatedly. Silverado 2.7 comes in around 65,000 miles. HPFP failure. We replace it. 6 months later, turbo is showing signs of wear. Another year, turbo fails. These engines are working too hard trying to move a full-size truck. The 5.3 V8 is bulletproof by comparison. I tell everyone, spend the extra money for the V8. It'll save you thousands later. Nissan Titan. Nissan Titan inventory is sitting on lots with desperate incentives, up to $11,000 off in some markets. The Titan has never sold well compared to Ford, Chevy, and Ram, but 2023 to 2025 models are particularly problematic, and dealers know it. The transmission is the major issue. The 9-speed automatic paired with the 5.6-liter V8 is experiencing failures between 50,000 and 90,000 miles. The transmission develops shuddering, harsh shifting, and eventually complete failure. Transmission replacement costs $7,000 to $9,000. But the transmission problem compounds Nissan's existing reputation issues. Nissan has struggled with CVT reliability in cars and SUVs for years. Now the full-size truck transmission is failing too. This destroys destroys buyer confidence across the entire brand. The interior quality is below segment standards. Materials feel cheap compared to Ford, Chevy, and Ram. The infotainment system is dated. The features are limited compared to competition. Even with massive discounts, the Titan feels like an inferior product because it is. Here's the critical problem for buyers. Resale value is catastrophic. A 3-year-old Titan with 60,000 miles might have lost 60% of its original value. Compare that to an F-150 or Silverado losing 40 to 45%. That extra 15 to 20% depreciation equals $12,000 to $18,000 on a $50,000 truck. The Titan's poor sales volumes create another issue: parts availability and dealer support. Nissan dealers don't stock Titan parts because they don't sell many Titans. When repairs are needed, parts often require ordering, extending repair times. Finding knowledgeable Nissan truck mechanics is difficult because there aren't enough Titans on the road for mechanics to develop expertise. One mechanic in Arizona refuses to work on Titans. The transmission failures, the poor parts availability, the terrible resale value. I tell customers the Titan is a bad investment even with big discounts. The discount doesn't offset the depreciation and reliability issues. Buy a Ford, Chevy, or Ram. You'll be happier long term. GMC Sierra 3.0-liter Duramax diesel. GMC dealers are heavily incentivizing Sierra 1500 ES with the 3.0-liter Duramax inline-6 diesel. Up to $9,000 in rebates, aggressive financing, desperate trade-in offers. The diesel that was supposed to be GMC's premium option is becoming a dealer liability. The emission system is the primary problem. The 3.0-liter Duramax uses a complex emission setup with DPF, DEF, and EGR systems. These systems are experiencing failures between 40,000 and 80,000 miles. DPF clogging, DEF system faults, EGR valve failures. Each problem costs $2,000 to $4,000 to repair. But here's what makes diesel emissions failures particularly expensive: the problems cascade. A failing EGR valve causes excess soot, which clogs the DPF faster, which creates back pressure that damages other components. One failure leads to multiple expensive repairs over time. The fuel economy advantage doesn't justify the costs. GM advertises the diesel as achieving significantly better MPG than gas engines. In real-world use, the diesel gets 22 to 24 miles per gallon highway compared to 20 to 21 for the 5.3 V8. That 2 to 3 miles per gallon difference saves maybe $400 annually. But diesel fuel costs more, diesel oil changes cost more, and the emission system repairs obliterate any fuel savings. The diesel's complexity creates diagnostic challenges. When problems occur, diagnosis requires specialized equipment and diesel expertise. Many independent mechanics won't work on modern diesel emission systems. Owners are forced to GMC dealers charging premium rates. Resale values are dropping fast. The used truck market is flooded with diesel trucks from the 2011 to 2020 era that developed expensive emissions problems. Buyers are wary of diesel trucks, pricing them below equivalent gas trucks. A 2-year-old Sierra diesel might sell for the same price as a 3-year-old Sierra with the 5.3 V8 because the market discounts the diesel risks so heavily. One mechanic in Montana specializes in diesel trucks. His advice: the 3.0 Duramax is a maintenance nightmare. I've seen DPF clogs, DEF crystallization, EGR valve failures, all before 70,000 miles. The repair costs are insane. Unless you're towing heavy loads regularly and putting serious highway miles on the truck, the diesel makes no financial sense. The 5.3 or 6.2 gas engines are far better choices for most buyers. Why dealers are dumping these specific trucks? Dealers aren't dumping trucks randomly. They're dumping specific models with known problems because they understand what's coming. Here's the calculation dealers make. They know these trucks will generate warranty claims: Ram e-torque battery failures, PowerBoost hybrid issues, Silverado 2.7 HPFP problems, Titan transmission failures, Sierra diesel emissions faults. All create warranty work that dealers must perform. While manufacturers reimburse warranty work, it ties up service bays and creates customer dissatisfaction. They know resale values are collapsing. When a dealer takes a trade-in, they need to resell it profitably. Trucks with known problems are harder to sell used. The dealer either wholesales them at a loss or discounts them heavily on their used lot. Either way, they lose money. They know these trucks damage customer relationships. When a customer buys a truck that develops expensive problems after warranty, they blame the dealer even though the dealer didn't design the truck. That customer doesn't return for their next purchase, and they tell others about their bad experience. Smart dealers would rather dump problematic inventory at a loss than damage long-term customer relationships. They know manufacturer incentives can offset losses now but not later. If GM offers dealers a $5,000 incentive to move Silverado 2.7 inventory, the dealer can discount heavily and still break even. But once those incentives expire and the trucks are still sitting on the lot, the dealer faces growing losses from flooring costs and depreciation. The temptation of discounts. $10,000 off a $50,000 truck is tempting. That's 20% off. For buyers on tight budgets, that discount seems impossible to refuse. But here's the math smart buyers do. A Ram 1500 e-Torque discounted $10,000 to $40,000 seems like a deal. But if the e-Torque battery fails at 55,000 miles, requiring a $10,000 repair, you've paid $50,000 total for a truck worth maybe $30,000 after the repair. You're underwater. A PowerBoost F-150 discounted $12,000 to $53,000 seems attractive, but if the hybrid battery degrades significantly by 70,000 miles and replacement costs $18,000, you've paid $71,000 total for a truck worth maybe $40,000. That's catastrophic. A Silverado 2.7 discounted $8,000 to $38,000 looks tempting, but if you face HPFP failure at 55,000 miles, $3,000, and turbo failure at 85,000 miles, $4,000, you've paid $45,000 total for a truck worth maybe $26,000. The discount didn't save you money. The alternative calculation: buy a non-discounted truck with proven reliability. A Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi non-e-Torque at full MSRP costs $50,000. At 100,000 miles, you've had routine maintenance only, oil changes, brakes, tires. The truck is worth $35,000 and has required 0 major repairs. Total cost of ownership is dramatically better despite the higher purchase price. Which trucks to buy instead? If you're shopping for a truck in 2026, here's what mechanics recommend. Ram 1500. Get the 5.7 Hemi without e-Torque. It's proven, reliable, powerful, and simple. The fuel economy is marginally worse than e-Torque, but the reliability is far better. Avoid any e-Torque model regardless of discount. Ford F-150. The 5.0 V8 is bulletproof. The 3.5 EcoBoost, non-hybrid, is also proven reliable. Both deliver the capability buyers need without hybrid complexity. Avoid PowerBoost unless you absolutely need the specific capabilities it offers and understand you're accepting risk. Silverado/Sierra. The 5.3 V8 is reliable and proven. The 6.2 V8 is even better if you need the power. Both will outlast the 2.7 turbo significantly. Avoid the 2.7 turbo and the 3.0 diesel unless you have specific use cases that justify their risks. Toyota Tundra. The hybrid system in the Tundra is more proven than Ford's PowerBoost. Toyota's hybrid experience from cars and SUVs translates to better truck reliability. If you want a hybrid truck, Tundra is the safer choice. Nissan Titan. Just avoid it entirely. Even with massive discounts, the poor reliability, terrible resale value, and questionable dealer support make it a bad investment. There are too many better options. Understanding dealer psychology helps negotiate better. When dealers are dumping specific models, they're desperate. But don't make the mistake of thinking desperation means you should buy the dumped inventory. It means you should avoid it and negotiate hard on the trucks dealers want to sell. Use the dumped inventory as leverage. If a dealer is offering $10,000 off Ram e-Torque models, use that to negotiate $5,000 off a 5.7 Hemi model. You're giving $10,000 off the e-Torque trucks, but I want the Hemi. Give me half that discount and we have a deal. This often works because dealers would rather move a good truck with less profit than keep dumped inventory. End of month and end of quarter timing matters. Dealers have sales targets from manufacturers. Meeting targets can trigger bonuses or additional incentives. If you're shopping the last week of March, June, September, or December, dealers are more flexible on pricing for trucks they actually want to move. 5 trucks dealers are dumping in 2026 because mechanics say don't buy them. From Ram 1500 e-Torque with catastrophic battery failures to PowerBoost hybrids with degradation issues, these discounted trucks come with expensive long-term costs that overwhelm the initial savings. If this changed what you're shopping for, hit that like button. Drop a comment with which truck you're considering. Let's make sure you're not walking into a financial trap. Subscribe for automotive truth about which vehicles are actually reliable versus which ones look good on dealer lots, but terrible in your driveway. Hit the bell because the next video covers the specific truck configurations that hold value best. Thanks for watching. Dealer discounts are tempting, but they exist for reasons. When an entire category of trucks is being dumped with massive incentives, smart buyers ask why rather than just how much they're saving. The trucks being dumped are being dumped because dealers know what owners will discover at 60,000 miles. Buy the proven, reliable configurations even if they cost more up front. Your bank account at 100,000 miles will thank you.